Hey everybody, welcome back to Sergeant's Talk, Morning Talk with Mike. I go live 4 times a week and I don't even know what channel or what segment I'm doing. Good
I
Lord.
never made sergeant.
Yeah. So welcome to Morning Talk with Mike and Paul. Hey, today we're going to be talking about President Trump's speech to the UN. And I want to know what your thoughts are. We're gonna break it down on the things that he said. I'm not gonna play the speech or nothing like that. This ain't a react channel, but we're gonna talk about what you think about what he said and who he said it to. Yeah, Kentucky Bluegrass.
Yep.
All right, before we do that, let's say hello so we can get started on here. I seen Rebecca Touched by Yarn in here. She was in here very early. Heartland headquarters with Dink and Tank. Sir Paul Honeyman from England's here, giving us a fresh perspective on certain things. There's Ed from Whistle Stop Homestead. Welcome in, Ed. There's Bowen, Thunderstick Homestead, one of his many channels. We talked about that on Wednesday. Oh, let's see. Is that all we got? Oh, and there's Kentucky Bluegrass saying good morning to Paul. That's right. Cremation is the only way I could get a smoking hot.
I asked him what his real name was, and he says, "I killed the gaint."
Hey, there's Roadkill Ron. Welcome in, my brother. There's Jerry and Susan over at Butler Family Farm. Susan and Jerry here heading to the rendezvous. Yeah, we'll be there today. We'll be at the rendezvous. We'll be filming at the rendezvous. I don't know. I can't remember how good the signal was inside that building. I don't know if we're going to just do a live or we're going to do a video and put it up later. But we'll see.
Right, I've got to try and remember his name because we always have a good laugh.
Who's that?
Kentucky Bluegrass Living. His name's David.
David. There's Debbie Drock. Welcome in.
Barbara Castile.
Yep, there she is. Barbara, welcome in. And we are at the bottom. Well, good. We got 14 people in here. Paul and I were talking about shipping cost and I don't know. Is that will you pay when people
Customs tax?
It's a customs tax. Okay. Because it was shipped from another country.
Yep.
Yeah, I know in Germany they call it a Mehrwertsteuer, which is an import tax because you didn't buy it from a German company. They make you pay that. It includes the tax and all that stuff. It's, what is it called? Added tax, whatever. So the country doesn't lose money because you decide to get something from another country. Now, do they do that on internet purchases too?
Yeah.
Or all purchases, really?
It depends. If the internet purchases, if we spend over a certain amount, then we have to pay customs taxes.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we don't do that here. And nobody tell anybody that works in government, because they'll probably do something like that and make you pay for it. Now, I remember when before you didn't have to pay no taxes the internet was young, and there was no tax on buying something on the internet. But boy, they took care of that, didn't they? Now you got to pay the tax on it. That's crazy. All right.
David's got to disappear.
There is Troy Sutton. Welcome in, brother. All right. Please make sure you hit the like or dislike or whatever you want before you go out. But we're going to be talking about
I want a sod you button.
And I say this tongue lashing that Trump delivered to all these countries, and one of the most, I can hear a back thing with you over there, Paul. And one of the things that
I only have one channel on.
I don't know. I heard it. It's gone now. Is countries not listening to their citizens and the illegal migration that are going into all these countries, and governments and politicians siding with illegal immigration over their own people.
Mearns Pacquiao.
Hey, Mearns.
And Evelyn Newman.
Hello, my friend. There she is. There's Evelyn Newman from the great state of New Mexico. Welcome in. And I think that's one of the things I can't get on board with, is where it seems, this is my opinion, it seems there's more interest in the illegal migration than it is the safety of your own people. And that's what I can't get on board with. Okay? You work hard all your life. You pay your taxes. And then people come into your country illegally, no matter how they did it. And because they're migrants, your country gives them money, housing, healthcare, all this stuff that you've been working for all your life and paying into. And they haven't contributed nothing, but in most cases, or a lot of cases, chaos. And you're rewarding them for that.
Yeah. Have you heard the latest from our side of the water?
No.
Our British Prime Minister, in all his stupidity, has decided he wants everybody to have digital ID. We have got I know for a fact it's the highest in Europe. I don't know if it's as bad as yours yet, but we have got the highest scammers and hackers from India, Pakistan, and the Middle East.
Right.
Including Russia, right?
Right.
We've got them, and he wants to now do digital ID.
So what does that mean?
That means everywhere you go, they can track you. But it also means everywhere you go, scammers can hack you.
Yeah.
I have a British driving license. It's got my identification on it. As yet, I have never required a passport. I've been around the world, but I've never had a passport.
Yeah. There's Jovita Navarro.
It's amazing where you can get with an ID card.
There's our friend Wanda Henry up in Canada land. Hello, Lucio.
Wendy from Hard Knack Farms.
There she is right there. How are you doing? Yeah, it's a global agenda digital ID. I mean, it's like they're just trying to set you up.
to lose everything.
Yeah.
There's Dana Mason.
Henry. Hey, Dana. Oh, that's Wanda. There's Dana. We have been praying for you, my love. I hope you're on the upswing. Hope things are going better. And I did want to put in, if you want to help Tim and Dana Mason out, I do, and I have used, let's see.
Tim's Cash App.
I think I can remember this.
Starts with $1. That's all. That's as far as I can remember.
There you go. I got it. I remembered it. So please go over there if you can, if you want to, even if you go on her Facebook page and wish her well, I would really appreciate that.
Oh, poor Dana. Absolute worst nightmare possible last night. She must have woke up and seen Tim.
Tim is an awesome guy. Don't go there.
I know. But the worst thing you can see when you wake up in the middle of the night is your other half.
Well,
you wake up from a dream of a beautiful beach and all these people on it.
Well, I will tell you, Paul, that there was a point in my life where I would rather be at work than be at home. And that's a sad thing to say. But when I married Terrie, it was like my attitude changed where I would rather be at home with her than to be at work.
And of course, I'd rather be at home with Terrie than at work.
But I mean, there was a big difference in the total marriage thing, where Terrie and I were friends before we ever got involved, and it was it's just, for me, it's just absolutely, for me, it's heavenly to be around her. She is just an awesome woman. So
Wendy's telling lies.
Wendy, come on.
I deeply love my other half. He is the love I have waited for all my
life. Hey, Ariane, welcome in.
Wendy's waited for Vin Diesel.
Yep, there you go.
She waited for Vin Diesel.
And there's our friend over there at Okies Eden. He's got jokes, guys. This guy's got some dad jokes. I'm going to tell you what.
There's Arlene.
And I got to see more of him when I was on Wednesday nights at 7. Wendy at Hard Knack Farm goes live, and he was special guest on there. So go back and watch that live to get to know Okies Eden, Jason, a little bit better. Hey, Alan Dixon's here. Welcome in. Miss Arlene. Good to see you. All right, so let's get hot and heavy into this stuff.
No,
So
Jim,
President Trump's speech
I'm
to
not
the
bending over.
what's that?
I'm not bending over.
No,
You ain't getting hot and heavy with me.
well, you don't have to worry about it. It's your politicians that are on Trump's shit list. Okay, for a couple of reasons. Trust me, for a couple of reasons. Man, that jumped hard. Yep, there it is. Thank you for putting that in there, Evelyn. All right. Yeah, justice is coming. The Bud Files, welcome in. Good to see you. So, first off, I don't know who the jack wagon was. The escalators were working fine in the UN until Melania and Donald stepped onto it, and somebody shut them off and made them walk up the whole escalator thing. And then it started working right after they got off of it. So somebody was being an asshole at the UN.
I would have been looking for that arsehole.
Yeah. So
Trump wouldn't need to worry. I'd have been looking for him.
And then, for some miraculous reason, the teleprompters went out. And what came out of Trump's mouth next, he says, I don't really need a teleprompter. I basically know what the heck I'm going to lay down on you guys. Okay. And he first talked about it 6 years ago when he came in there. And since that day, the guns of war have shattered the peace that was forged on two continents. An era of calm and stability gave way to one of the greatest crises of our time. And here in the United States, 4 years of weakness, lawlessness, radicalism under the last administration delivered our nation into repeat set of disasters. And he didn't lie. He told the truth.
He missed the he missed out on the ones before he got into the first term.
Yeah.
Obama was not an American president. I don't care what anyone says. He did what Labour Party does to Britain.
Yeah.
He sold them out.
Yeah.
You do not give your enemies.
Well, and some
money.
people would say he's a Manchurian candidate.
He was a
Obama.
bloody traitor.
But then Trump said just 8 months ago into my administration, we are now the hottest country anywhere in the world, and there is no other country that can even come close to what he has turned around in 8 months. And I'm going to tell you something. I remember when he delivered the speech on tariffs, though everybody went absolutely bonkers. Okay. And they said, we're going to fail. Everything's going to go to hell in a handbasket and everything's going to go crazy. Well, everything already went crazy the last 4 years. Prices skyrocketed. Inflation went up. And they go, oh, no, when he left, it was here. But it climbed up over 8% while you were in there. And we suffered because of that. And now we got a coffer filled with money from the tariffs. Okay. Countries have been flooding in to make deals with us. Okay. And all Trump really said, you know what? Make it fair. If you want to do trade with the United States, bring that down. If you get it to zero, that's great. We can have trade all day long.
Yeah.
Okay. But whatever you place against me, I'm going to place against you until you start feeling the effects of it when you can't get your Cheerios no more. Okay. Or your Captain Crunch. Okay. And yeah, everybody thought it was going to be a shit show. And then what happened? First month, we got $93 million in the bank. The next month, we got $190 million in the bank. Now we're up into the billions of dollars in the bank. Okay. And that's with countries that have lowered, and we have lowered the tariffs on. And we're still making money. Companies have been moving into the United States left and right to the tune of $17 trillion. Oh, I thought all this was going to go to hell in a handbasket, everybody said. Oh, we're going to, he's ruining in America. Yada, yada,
Everybody,
yada.
all liberals.
He broke all the rules because
No.
he's a businessman and not really a politician. Okay? And a good businessman, yeah, you can sit there and preach, oh, he claimed bankruptcy 8 times, but he's still a billionaire. Wow, how does that happen? Okay. Now, people don't realize that he has companies within his big organization that has gone bankrupt. He just so happened to be the CEO, the head rooster in charge or whatever, but businesses do fail. But he's bounced back each time. And that's what we're doing now in America. We are bouncing back. And yesterday, if you listen to the news on all the channels, he's taking the tariff money, portions of it. They said, hey, we just found $31 billion and we don't know where it goes to. And he says, you better find out where it came from. And they found out it was from tariffs. And he goes, good. We're going to put that money towards our farmers. Okay. We're going to use that as subsidy for our farmers to get the frick back to work, start planting stuff, start raising stuff, and bring down the prices of it because they're using tariffs to augment our farmers so we don't have to get the stuff from South America, from Mexico, or wherever the hell it comes from. Okay. It's going to be grown right here in the United States. So I say kudos. All right. Because the farmer over the last decades have been getting screwed. Okay. They're just barely making by and they're thinking, hey, why should I do this shit? And he's going to do something about it. And kudos for that. I agree. Yeah, meat prices are freaking outrageous. Terry took me to the store and wanted me to see this. I said, how come we ain't having steak lately? You can keep that steak. Okay. That's some crazy prices in there. Oh, wow. $10 a pound for chicken. Wow. In Canada.
And yet I spend £10 a week on meat.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I go into my local superstore. Yeah. I go into my local superstore and it's literally, you can buy 3 packs of meat. It's chicken or beef, minced beef, or even bacon. Mix 3 packets and there's a tenner.
Yeah. Yeah. Always thank a farmer.
I like that one, Avita. Yeah. Mexico has the best agave plants in the world. Top shelf tequila. Just saying.
There you go. And there was somebody, I can't remember who it was. They started their own tequila company. Somebody famous started a tequila company. 2 actors or something.
Tequila is The Rock.
Is it?
Yeah. And he gets all of his from Mexico.
Oh, all the guava?
Yeah. He actually has it made in Mexico.
Well, I know they have guava in the United States and
You call it guava, we call it agave.
agave, the agave plant. That's what it's called.
Guava is spelled Guava.
Yeah.
Now Mike's thinking, why the hell did I get an Englishman on here? Jerry.
Oh, I didn't know that about the screwworm that the cattle were getting down in Mexico. But guys, I'm going to tell you something that. Okay, here's a, hey Mike. If farmers do not price setters or price takers, they don't get a choice from them in the prices. Okay, I didn't understand all that.
Basically, he's saying farmers don't get to choose how much it sells for in the store.
Oh yeah, I agree. What the price per pound at the sale barns and all that stuff. I do know that we ship a lot of beef into Asia because I've told you this. I talked to Paul. I got a friend, Tony Zeman. He has a farm down in Missouri, and then he's got a feeder lot up in Iowa. He takes all his beef up there, finishes them out. Feeder lots are where they put grain and all that to put the marbling in the meat because they're all grass fed down in Missouri, and they're all black Angus. And he ships them up there, and then he sells all his beef, approximately 4,000 to 5,000 head a year, to Asian markets. The good thing, the reason he does that is he gets $2 to $3 per pound more than what he can sell them here in the United States for. They negotiate that price on each sale, and then they pay for the shipping from his feeder lot to the West Coast, whether on train or truck or whatever. And then they have a slaughterhouse there, and then it gets sent over to Asia, to whatever country he made the deal with. Most likely, when I was around him, it was Japan that the beef was going to. And we've been to Asia, and the price, you guys, we are not paying nothing compared to a steak price in Korea. It was crazy, looking at an 8-ounce steak. How much was that we had the last time, babe? Oh, she's not even in here. I'm going to venture that an 8-ounce steak in Korea cost us about $51 at Outback Steakhouse in Korea. That was I about lost it. Okay. Not saying we've been to Australia and we had just these medallions of Wagyu beef, and I ordered that. Terry ordered something else, but mine was $54. And I got like 3 medallions of meat, some red potatoes, and some asparagus, along with the dessert for $54. So life could be worse, guys. You could be paying that price. So, yeah, go to the farmer's market and get to talk to the farmers every Saturday. Yeah.
You're spending all that money from Wagyu beef. Are you sure that's just not the Japanese sending your friend's beef back?
I don't know, but that was in Australia when I had the Wagyu, because they grow it, they raise it down there.
Okay, it's Wagyu.
I'm going to tell you something. You could cut it with a spoon. The meat was so tender and everything like that. But trust me, I went from there to some side vendor and ate more after I had a meal, because it did not fill me up for $54. Okay, Sammy Hagar. Okay. Yeah, they sure are. Ron White, did he start drinking tequila? Because if you've ever been to one of his show, by the time he's done, that guy is shit-faced.
What do you mean by the time he's done? I heard he was shit-faced before he started.
Yeah. Hey, Daisy, welcome in, my friend. Glad to see you. Yeah, Mike, you should see the acres of agave plants in Mexico. Well, I have been down. In fact, when I was younger, I was living in Arizona. We went down to
Scott rambling with the rooms.
Somewhere around the Chihuahua area of Mexico, the city of Chihuahua. And there is a tequila factory down there. I went down there with a friend and his dad. And you could just cross into Mexico, come back, and you show them your student ID back then, or you could show them your driver's license and get back across the border. We went down there, I want to say Chihuahua area, somewhere in that area.
You keep saying Chihuahua because I've just told you I don't like Chihuahuas.
Oh, no, there's a place called Chihuahua, Mexico. And I can't remember the name of the town, but we brought back tequila in stone-made bottles. And they put the tequila's made, and it's put in these stone bottles. And then it has a stone cap, but it has like a wet wax seal to it when they cap it, and it dries on there. And we'd come back with a case of that stuff, 24 of these bottles in this crate. He'd go down there every year because on Cinco de Mayo, he would have a big party at his house. And they were Mexican, by the way.
That's like going to the still and coming away with the glass jugs.
And then they would come back with that, but they would take the old stone bottles back so they didn't have to pay for the bottles again. Yeah. They were just paying for the tequila. And he would go down there, and this was back in the 70s. And I think for 24 bottles of tequila, then he brought it back. He paid something like $55 for a case of tequila, straight from where they make it at. And he'd bring it back up. I think the first time it was like $100 and something because he had to pay for the stone bottles. And then they would take those stone bottles and put the tequila in the freezer. And when they brought them out, it was just freaking rock ice cold. And I tried it. I was a young boy, and I didn't like the taste of tequila. I said, that's it, I'm done. But
you pussy.
Well, whatever. I was a young kid. I didn't like it. I like it now. I like it now. I pray to get the CSA going for next year. Okay.
You need to keep a bottle of tequila beside your back door every time you go out. Have a glass and then go snake hunting.
Well, there was a time in my life where I had a bottle of Patron in my freezer. I would never went without it. It's just some good stuff. There you go. And congratulations on that.
Scott saying anyway, no Friday.
So the next thing Trump said, what's that?
Scott's saying there's no Friday night prime time tonight. Pass it around.
Oh.
The kids are having a birthday party for Debbie.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what you could get if you could get down there to these tequila factories and buy it. I don't know what it would be like now or what it would cost, but back in the 70s, it was dirt cheap. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. James Hall, y'all. There he is. Welcome in. There's Ramblin' with the Brooms. Scotty Scott. Welcome in, brother. There you go. There's Kevin over at Camping Cage Free. Where's the beef? Remember that commercial, that old lady? And she used to say, "Where's the beef?" I can't remember. Was that Burger King commercial or something like that?
That sounds about right. You look at their advertisements, and the burgers are about that big, and the meat's outside the bun.
Yep. Chihuahua, Mexico's been proudly making tequila for over 100 years. Yeah.
I no longer keep alcohol in my apartment unless I'm buying it for a birthday present for my
I
daughters.
think Terry cooks more with beer than I drink beer. I think the last time I had a beer was at a meetup.
Terry's problem's wine.
Yes.
She's never got enough, but there's always too much in the house.
Yeah, I can count 16 bottles there in the wine rack. She hasn't got to yet. And then the whole
16 bottles of beer on the wall.
The whole bottom shelf on the door is full of wine bottles. We had to move the trays up so she could get her wine bottles in there. It depends on her mood. She only drinks like a small portion of wine every once in a while, but she likes a good wine. Now, I remember there was some days where she drank more than just a little serving of wine, but we've changed. So anyway, the next thing Trump did is Trump shouted out a congratulations and a thank you to the country of El Salvador and their president. Trump said, "I want to thank the country of El Salvador for the successful and professional job they're doing in receiving and jailing so many criminals that entered our country." Okay. I like it. Okay. They're doing a flat rate payment of $6 million a year to house criminals in El Salvador, and they send the administration all the documents and everything, who's still in custody and all that kind of stuff. They're not letting them go. They get fed. They have toilets. They have showers, and they're packed into cells. But that's what happens when you're a criminal. Going to jail should not be comfortable for anybody. Okay. And
have you seen
that $6 million wouldn't go very far with that many prisoners in U.S. jails. Plus, most of them are from his country anyway. Hey, David Glunt. I always have a bottle of Old Granddad, 114 proof. I don't drink it very often, but I always have some if I feel like a snort. There you go.
I'll bet that warms his throat up.
Now, I will tell you, I like a good scotch. Okay? I like a good Scotch whiskey, a good Irish Scotch whiskey. I like Jameson. I like dwarfs and stuff like that. Two ice cubes, and some of that in there to sip on it, I like it. I mean, I got two bottles over there, and it's probably more than a year old. So, and there's only a little bit missing out of it. So,
I always preferred the
it
Scottish to
makes
the
the
Irish.
voice fall off, huh? There's been a lot of babies conceived over tequila. I'm pretty sure.
Not just tequila. They call gin mother's ruin.
Oh, okay. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's my taste buds, but the beef at McDonald's isn't what I remember it was when I was a kid. It has a different taste to it. So I don't buy hamburgers and stuff like that from McDonald's. Now I will tell you that and Sonic, their beef has changed too. It doesn't taste the same to me. But I do like Brahms. If you don't know what Brahms is, we have it here in Oklahoma. Their burgers, freaking fantastic. And I do like Wendy's, and I don't know why, but those are the two that I like. Because for me, taste is everything. It's not just,
You better make sure Wendy's husband doesn't find out.
Well, and I will tell you that if you look at a burger from McDonald's the way they show it in the advertisement, it doesn't look that way when you get it and take it out of the wrapper or the little box. It don't look like that at all. But
See,
Wendy's
it went over his
actually
head.
has sliced onions and sliced tomatoes and leaf lettuce and all that stuff. And so does Brahms. Maybe that's what I like about it, because I like a little salad with my beef. Okay.
No, you don't. You don't even like spinach on your plate.
Who?
You.
Oh, I love spinach.
I prefer broccoli myself.
I'll tell you what, I got hooked on cream of spinach on top of scrambled eggs. I had that in Germany, and my mother-in-law, she made that stuff every time I came over, and I absolutely love it.
Creamy spinach soup.
Man. See, Brahms is awesome. I love Whataburger. I love Whataburger.
Terrie don't have Whataburgers.
Terrie can't stand them, but she likes the spicy chicken at Whataburger.
Explains a lot.
Southern Comfort offered Janis Joplin a long mink coat just for drinking it. I don't like Southern Comfort. It's too syrupy for me.
Yeah. I was going to say, out of all the alcohol I used to drink, that's the one thing I couldn't stand.
And the other one is the Goldschlager.
Never had that.
It's got little pieces, they say, of gold in it or whatever. I don't care for it. All right, so moving on down the road on this speech.
What was that?
What was that? Oh, that was
Terrie
Freya.
drop a bag.
Terrie walked out of the bedroom and Freya was up on the steps, and she has to be right up Terrie's butt every time she moves.
Can I be Freya for the day?
Brahms ice cream is the best.
Can I be Freya?
Stop, Paul.
What?
And then he started getting into the wars, the 7 wars that they put ceasefires to or they ended and stuff like that. And making reference to, why am I doing this? And he didn't mind doing it. So, I mean, stopping a war saves hundreds, if not millions, of lives.
Yeah.
Why does it take him to go in there, negotiate a peace brokering deal with all these countries when like he said, I thought that was the job of the United Nations, and that at one time did anyone from the United Nations say, "Hey, we got your back on this. Let's make sure it ends good." They did nothing. That's why all the countries are sending millions of dollars to the UN so it can operate, and they're not doing what they're supposed to do or operating the way they're supposed to operate. They just say, "Oh, we're gonna send a scathing letter for them to stop." What? Look, right
You know
now, the
why there's
United
so many
Nations
wars?
for me is no more than when you were young and your mom was yelling at you, and after a while, you just tone her out. Okay,
Not my
right?
mother.
You just tone them
I
out.
was
You get used to the rhetoric. You get used to the way it's delivered. It doesn't have to be your mom. It could be anybody. And then they're just like oblivious to you. What is a scathing letter going to do? Okay, nothing. Okay, this ain't your war. Blah blah blah. So on and so forth. Could you imagine if India and Pakistan went to full out war against each other? Dude, they both have red buttons, and it could be a absolute shit show. Okay,
stay safe,
where was the
Avita.
United Nations during all that with two countries that have nuclear weapons? Where are they at? They weren't nowhere. Well, if you don't listen to that letter, we're going to write you another letter. What? And here's the other thing. How can a country that's waging and invaded another country like Russia be on the United Nations Security Council? What? How is that even possible? Why haven't they been removed? If you know what the Security Council is all about, okay, it's to show a presence so you don't move into war. And you got Russia setting on that? Sorry. Sorry. I can't swallow that stuff. All right.
That says Whataburger's like eating dog food.
And yes, he did. He said things like, people think I should get the Nobel Peace Prize for these achievements. But for me, he says, the real prize will be the sons and daughters who live to grow up with their mothers and fathers, because millions of people no longer are being killed in an endless, unglorious war. That's all he cares about. He wants the fighting to stop. He's tired of seeing children, and now Melania is getting knee deep in the children over in the Ukraine with the president's wife over there, because that's the people who suffer. Okay, those people who can't wage war, the elderly getting their houses, been living there all their lives, and now everything's gone. Okay, for what? For one man's ego, one man's interest, okay, of taking over the Donbass region, Crimea, and all that to get all the minerals and all the access and stuff like that. All right, I'm pretty sure his thing is, hey, I'd like the whole Iron Curtain to go back up.
Yeah.
Okay, so why his country is still on the UN Security Council, I have no idea, and the justification behind it. Okay. Then he said, stop doing business with Russia. I mean, one of the two
doing
biggest,
business with arms dealers.
Well, you guys in Europe are still pumping oil from Russia and paying Russia for the oil while saying stop going to war. Okay. And then you got India that is a bigger buyer than all of Europe is still buying
We are
oil.
not in Europe.
And they're not in Europe. I got that. And you guys think you're not part of Europe, but you are.
No, we're not.
You're part of the European Union, but you're not.
No, we're not.
What are you guys?
We're an island.
Okay.
Our Prime Minister might like to think that he can get us back into Europe through a back door.
Yeah.
The only back door that anybody wants is his arse on the street.
Well, everybody that lives over here where I am thinks you're part of Europe.
You know, we used to be part of Europe, but we voted ourselves out.
I would say you guys are part of Europe, but you're not part of the European Union. Politically wise, you're not part of them. But until somebody changes the map, like the Gulf of America, and they say you're all by yourself.
We have the British Channel, or rather, as it's properly called, the English Channel.
Yes, you do. And I've crossed that thing on a ferry,
So, yeah.
in a car, with puking children left and right of me through a storm.
Do you remember that ferry that sank at Zeebrugge?
When we went back, we took the channel. So we've been across there two different ways. Then he started talking about endless development of biological weapons. Just a few years ago, he said reckless experiments overseas gave us the what? The coronavirus, right?
COVID.
Devastating global pandemic. Yet despite that worldwide catastrophe, many man-made pathogens, this is unbelievably dangerous. And he was pissed off that the United Nations did not recognize where that came from. It's like they're like the monkeys.
Yeah.
That's the United Nations.
Hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil.
Exactly. He wants to hold the Biological Weapons Convention, he said. And then he started talking about illegal immigration and how politicians, he says, you're destroying your country or countries. We have reasserted that America belongs to American people, and I encourage all countries to take their own stand in defense of their citizens as well. You have to do that because what I see, I'm not mentioning names right now, he said. I see it, and I can tell, and I can call out your names, every single one of you that are not siding with your country and your countrymen, but siding with illegal immigration that is destroying your country. Illegal aliens are pouring into Europe. Nobody has ever, and nobody is doing anything to change it. To get them out, it is not sustainable. And because they choose to be politically correct, they are doing absolutely nothing about it. And you're letting this destroy your country, your heritage, your customs, everything. And your politicians are doing nothing for it. And he let them have it. Okay? Your countries are going to hell, he said. It is time to end the failed experiments of open borders. You have to end it now. I can tell you, I am really good at this stuff. Your country is going to hell. And you say, Paul?
Keir Starmer's already done it.
Yeah.
And now the British people are fighting back.
Yeah, and I encourage everybody to go back and watch the entire speech. I mean, it lasted 1 hour, and he let him have it over and over and over again. Okay. Hey, John Goes Outdoors. Welcome in, brother. Um,
He
and
did
then, of
not.
course, he talked about flipping the script on immigration by them not coming. We are saving a tremendous amount of lives. My people have done a fantastic job in doing that. And then he said, American public agrees with it. He said, I mean, I was very proud to see this morning I have the highest poll numbers ever in this area. So you see all these people, these radical left people protesting and getting involved in all this stuff. But the majority of America is saying, good job, good job. And that's what you get. You live in a sanctuary city, you get exactly what you elect in. Okay. And yeah, about blowing up boats, he said, in the Caribbean. We've recently begun using the supreme power of the United States military to destroy Venezuelan terrorists and trafficking networks led by Nicolas Maduro. We to every terrorist thug smuggling poisonous drugs into the United States, please be warned that we will blow you out of existence. That's what we are doing. We have no choice. And he's right. Listen, I would rather have a loudmouth, egotistical son of a bitch in the White House than
But you can't really call him that because he's actually doing it.
Than a woke, do nothing, see nothing, say nothing president in the White House. I would rather have somebody that will kick your ass than somebody that would say, let's sit down and have a beer and talk it over. Sometimes it's like talking to a 3-year-old or trying to reason with a 3-year-old. It can't be done. All right. That's what I would rather have. And that's what the majority of Americans would rather have. Okay. If you say something and you're willing to do something, you got my vote. But don't blow smoke up my butt. Okay. And say, yeah, we're going to do this. And then you get into office. Don't think you're going to get a second term. If you can BS everybody the first time and we see what you're not doing, and Biden didn't do anything to help us. He did everything to hurt us. And then all these politicians that are speaking out and doing, they're like children. We do something to make America better. And then you got everybody on the left going, oh, they do the total opposite. Let's run to a judge and get him to stop this. And it has to go all the way to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court says you don't have jurisdiction over the frickin' president. I don't care who you are, lower courts. You don't have it. And President Trump, continue what you're doing. Look, Chicago, they sent 400 agents in there, and they're up over 400 or 500 illegals. Criminals are already been pumped out of that place and flown somewhere to an undisclosed location. Because if you let it out that where they're going to, of course, protesters have to go there that are getting paid. And oh, by the way, they're putting a bounty out on these people that are paying these protesters. They've already got an investigation going. President wants to know who they are. He wants them in jail. Okay? Because what you're doing is treasonous. Okay? That's what you're doing. That's pure treason. Yeah, there you go. That is another way of saying it. Okay, that's exactly what they've been doing. So then he started in on renewable energy,
It's a waste.
guys, and he hit it on the nose. Okay, this new green, he called it scam con job that everybody's blowing down your throat, is a con job. All right, the new green steel. All right, it's people getting rich. All right, none of this
But it's
works.
not.
None of it is sustainable. None of it can run your factories. Okay. You've got, I mean, you look around Oklahoma and you see it everywhere. No more wind turbine signs on people's lawns. They're sick of it. Okay. They're sick of it. Now, my son in law, that's how he makes his living. Okay. And yeah, they break down a lot. And yeah, they need a lot of maintenance. And oh, by the way, initially, all these big wind turbines were being shipped over by China. And when you build something, like TVs and radios and cars, you build them so they have a life length of a certain amount of years, so you have to come back and buy another one. They don't build cars no more, like muscle cars from the 70s and the 60s. They don't build them no more to last forever. They build them so you have to come back. They build TVs that last only so long. And then you have to come back and buy another one. It's the returning customers that make these businesses run. Okay. And oh, by the way, I just seen Ford must be doing good because Ford just built a brand new corporate headquarters just miles away from the other one that holds twice as many people. So when you buy a car, think of all those people that work in the Ford corporate office and they had to build a building that holds twice as many people. That's why you're paying so much for cars. Mom and daddy got to get paid. All right. And those employees are getting paid by every vehicle you buy. That's why a Ford truck costs over 80 grand. Okay. And that's, power windows, not crank down windows. You can get those in the 50s. All right. But that's how much they cost. And it doesn't take no more effort or no more material to build a car than it did 20 years ago. Okay. Because people got more money. Unions. That's what you're paying for. So the con job is going around. All green. Let's see. All green is all bankrupt. That's what it represents, and it's not politically correct. I will be very badly criticized for saying this, but I am here to tell the truth. I don't care. He says, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I'm in New York City. I'm feeling a lot safer. It's the greatest con job ever perpetrated on the world. Green energy. Okay. And he goes on and on and on. Stop being so nice instead of defending your heritage to your people. Stop lying to them. Stop trying to force global warming. Remember, before it was global cooling, and then that went away, and then it went to global warming. Okay, and now it's called what? I don't know what it's called. They have a new name for all this because, hey, we can't decide whether it's global cooling or it's global warming or whatever. But the carbon footprint is a hoax made by people with evil intentions, and they are heading down the path of total destruction. Because he mentioned something. The European countries, I think they decreased their carbon footprint over the last 10 years by 34%. Well, and he said that was good. Okay. That was good. But the problem with that is China increased their carbon footprint, increased it by 56%. So all that work you guys suffered through to drop your carbon footprint, okay, there's other countries, there's China, there's India, there's the Asian countries, they increased it, okay? So what you did was for nothing, he said. Absolutely nothing. And then he says, then at the end, he said, make the world great again. Trump said, in closing, I just want to repeat that immigration and the high cost of so-called green renewable energy is destroying the large part of the free world. The large part of our planet, countries that cherish freedom are fading fast because of their policies on these subjects. You need strong borders and traditional energy sources, so you are getting to become great again, end quote. So again, when you're voting for people into office and their reason for existence is to do what their people sent them to Washington to do, and they're not doing it, they need to be replaced. It needs to be American first agenda. I'm watching these politicians here in Oklahoma wanting to run for governor of the state, and that's in their campaign. Well, I can tell you on the Republican side, if you're a Democrat, you probably will not become the governor of the state of Oklahoma. But America first, Oklahoma first agenda. Okay. And our local politicians are on board with Oklahoma first. Okay.
Okay, I'm getting rid of him.
Who's that?
This idiot.
Yeah, get rid of that guy, Robert Ward. Why are you being? I mean, okay, yeah, and that's fine. You can talk like that, but you know what? The words that people speak like that, and the actions being taken that we voted for, because one thing that you can honestly say. And you may not like Trump, and that's fine. You're in the minority.
I
But
can't get rid of him on StreamYard.
everybody that listened to what Trump said he would do, he would close the border. He would get rid of the immigrants, illegal immigrants that came across, starting with all the criminals. Okay. He was going to stop all this green energy bull crap. All right. He was going to help the farmers. Okay. He was going to bring businesses back to the United States. All the stuff that he promised to do, he's actually doing it. And you name me one president, if you go back and watch all their, I'm running for office and all this stuff they said they were going to do, and then look at what they did do and what they didn't do. Did they fulfill their promises to you, the voter? Okay. And you can sit there and say, oh, you know, the orange man, and he doesn't like people having abortions, so he's an evil dictator, blah, 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 whatever. You know? And don't be a keyboard warrior. I got the link up there. You can come right up here and talk to me, okay? And you can say, so people can actually see your face when you're spewing garbage, all right? Just so you can do the opposite of what's actually happening, okay?
There's Jamie.
You can't respect making America great. I got enough money in my bank account there, whatever your name was. I can get you a ticket to someplace. I got flyer miles. You can use those. Go to another country. Because I'll tell you what, most of these people that spew this crap have not been to other countries. They don't know what a bad country is. They've never lived in a country that was so restrictive of their people. Okay? I've been to countries where you step out of line, the cops are there with frickin' bamboo sticks and they will beat the shit out of you and then arrest you. Okay? Because an unconscious person can't fight back. Okay? I've been to Panama where the cops, when I was working down there, I said, well, what do you do? You know, how do you guys track down these criminals? He goes, criminals run. I said, what? He goes, only criminals run when they see the police. So we just shoot them. I go, holy crap. And we live in an oppressive country and our feelings are hurt. Well, guess what? The years of your feelings being hurt and us identifying you as whatever, gone. It's over with. Okay? You had your run. It's over with. You guys almost destroyed this country. Now, guess what? Enjoy it. Enjoy it.
If you don't like it, piss off.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure you can get a GoFundMe, say, hey, I want to leave the States because Trump is hurting my feelings. And I'm pretty sure you can get enough money to get an airplane ticket and go the hell somewhere else. Okay? Go down to Venezuela. They say they need people. Let's see. Hey, O'Rourke's Littlefield. I just noticed you. How long's she been in?
5 minutes.
Yeah.
You're at the bottom because you've been going off on a rant.
And here's the problem. People that spew this stuff and go on channels and say stuff like that, blah, 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 they're keyboard warriors. There is no way in heck that person will click that link at the top and come up here and show his face or her face on here. Okay? There's no way.
Remember that 77 million undiagnosed mental health disorders voted for the orange traitor and adjudicated rapist.
Yeah. That's somebody with mental health issues saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of those liberal losers.
Yeah, that's like a controller making you feel like you're the one being the controller when they're actually the controller. Yeah. Well, guess what? We made it through 4 years. I'm pretty sure you'll make it through 4 years. All right. So anyway, guys, that was Trump's speech. Just, going over it real quick. I like the fact that he scolded the leaders of other countries. And yeah, like James just said, I'm tired of paying taxes. And the Democrats started USAID, and the Democrats are one that were funneling money to other countries. And it just said, somebody woke up and said, hey, what the hell's going on over here? And why do we need gender studies in Uganda? And you know what? Oh, I forgot about that one thing that he's pissed off about, recognizing Palestine as an independent state. 50 countries out of the 193 recognized countries by the UN have raised their hand declaring or their support for Palestine as a country. And I'm trying to think, if the Muslim countries never recognized Palestine as an independent state, but a place to get people to come do the dirty work in their countries. And, oh, by the way, to have a place where they can pay for the operations of Hamas. leaders around the world, they won't stop wars, but they'll recognize people that invaded another country and killed 1,200 something people, massacred them, women, children, men, whatever, still holding hostages. And the UN, who is supposed to keep the peace around the world, are recognizing them as a state, the Palestinian state. All right, well, good. Then you all go in there and stop this. See, they won't do that. They won't put the blue helmets in there.
Yeah, they won't put their own people on the ground.
They're not. Well, they don't put their own people on the ground. They take people from other countries, put blue helmets and uniforms on them, and put the UN patch on there, and tell them to go in there and calm everybody down. Okay, I seen them when I was over in the Sinai. I seen them in Bosnia. They were only in little sectors while we were taking care of the whole freaking country. And we pumped millions of dollars into them.
I got a question for you. What's ginger studies got to do with anything?
Yeah, who cares? In a Muslim country, there's a male and there's a female. And I would dare anybody to go into one of these countries, hold up a sign that says,
maybe if he reads it,
that has a sign that says "Gays for Palestine," because they would snatch your ass up in a heartbeat. And you guys are so stupid, you don't even know what the customs of the countries you're trying to save are. Because you wouldn't live a day in that country if they found out you were gay or one of the LGBTQ plus whatever. You guys are it's just dumb stuff people are doing to get on the map.
No, I'm not sick, Jamie. I'm fine.
Yeah, I did see Huckabee's speech. Yes. And he is the perfect ambassador to Israel. And his daughter was on the news. And what a job she's done over there in Arkansas, kicking out the foreign countries owning land in Arkansas, putting into law the definition of a woman, all that stuff. I'm telling you, things that you shouldn't have to do, but you're forced to do. You know what I mean? Who would ever think in a million years you would have to put into law what the true definition of a woman is? Because I watch the Charlie Kirk things. What's the definition of a woman? Well, somebody who feels like a woman. That ain't a definition. Okay? I mean, these kids are their brains are so freaking polluted. I mean, it is, and then watching these Senate hearings where these professors, people with PhDs, sitting there saying, Senator says, can a man get pregnant? Of course he can. And one of them said, what kind of pregnancy is that? Well, some people call them butt babies. This was a lady with a PhD actually saying stuff like, how crazy do you have to be? And
she should have lost her bloody credentials
to follow this kind of logic. Who cares if you're gay? Who cares if you're lesbian? Who cares if all these other things that people are? I don't give a rat's ass. Okay? It astounds me of the attention people have to have, and they're screaming for tolerance, yet they're not tolerant. Okay? They're screaming for tolerance of the illegal aliens, but they're not tolerant, so they attack ICE agents or FBI agents or police officers and so on and so forth. I'm telling you guys, just tighten up your seatbelt, because this is going to be a a crazy ride in the years to come. Anyway, guys, that's what we got for you today.
You still haven't read it.
Read what, Paul?
Read down the bottom.
By who?
By me.
Empty Homestead. Maybe if you read it, Big Mike, what has ginger studies got to do with it? Gender studies?
Ginger studies, not gender studies.
Gingers? Oh my God, Paul. Hey, and Paul, you need to send me some new pictures of yourself. Not nude, new pictures of yourself so I can use them on thumbnails.
If I did that, my daughter would have a fit.
Hey, there's Terry. What's that?
I gotta be at the hospital at 8 on Monday morning, and surgery's at 10.
Okay. So we don't have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Man, we're still
Hey,
gonna
there you go.
though.
Yeah, Terry's got to be at the hospital on Monday at 8 in the morning. So that was different than what we thought before.
Yeah.
So, and we will keep everybody abreast of. See what I did there, Paul, for you? But anyway,
every time I see Karen's name.
I want to thank you guys for coming in. It's always fun to do this, to talk about what's going on, to read the comments. Yeah, they are not tolerant. You're absolutely right. And thank you for all the blessings and the prayers for Terry. I don't know that we'll be here on Monday.
We won't.
I will be at the hospital with Terry. And Tuesday, Sergeant's Talk TV. Don't know, but it will probably be an open mic night. I don't have time to get everything together with everything going on here. And I'm not sure about Homestead Hangout on Wednesday. So, but we will be here next Friday. Everything's
I would
up
count on being here
on how our recovery goes. But I want to thank everybody for being in here. Remember, be kind to one another. Help somebody in need, and always think of that. All right, guys.
I think Robert Ward needs some bloody help.
Yep, Terry is my priority, 110%. But guys, we love you. God bless you. We'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.
Stay safe, everyone.